Welcome to our podcast session. Today, we're diving into the essence of trading psychology as outlined in The Disciplined Trader by Mark Douglas. It's all about mastering emotions, developing self-discipline, and understanding the market's psychological nature.
Absolutely. I'm really intrigued by how Douglas focuses less on, just trading techniques and more on the trader's internal mindset.
Right, exactly. Douglas argues that while technical trading systems matter, it's the trader's discipline and emotional resilience, their mental toolbox, that truly separates the winners from the losers.
Indeed.
He starts by recounting his own journey and how facing financial setbacks became a catalyst for understanding his own mental environment.
That's captivating because it really shows that even seasoned traders have to battle those inner demons like fear and anxiety.
Totally. And in chapter 1, he explains why he felt compelled to write the book. He highlights the evolution of futures trading since 1982 and the stark contrast between the few consistently profitable traders and the many who lose out due to psychological obstacles. The takeaway is that traits like self-discipline and emotional control aren't innate. They are skills honed over time, often through a trial and error process that can be pretty costly.
It's like you have to embrace the pain of the learning curve before you arrive at success.
Exactly. Moving on to chapter 2, here Douglas points out that the traditional thinking we inherit from society can hinder trading success. He uses the analogy of firewalkers, saying that just like they adopt unique beliefs to walk over hot coals, traders need a radical shift in thinking to navigate the volatile markets.
Right, that analogy really sticks with you.
He essentially advocates for adopting a completely new mindset, which is different from conventional work ethics, where effort equals reward.
But don't you think that sometimes completely overhauling your mindset might not be necessary? I mean, some traders seem to succeed with more traditional belief systems.
That's a fair point. There's debate about that. Douglas does suggest that while emotional discipline can come from various paths, the majority of long-term successful traders transform their underlying belief systems to adapt faster. It's not an absolute rule, but rather a guiding principle toward becoming trader-ready.
I see your point. And then in chapter 3, the idea that the market is always right really puts things into perspective, doesn't it?
Yes, indeed. It's a reminder that market prices reflect the collective sentiment of all traders, even if your personal view disagrees. When you trade, it's not about being right individually, it's about understanding that the market's consensus is what drives price.
So in a way, your emotions and beliefs might end up clouding your judgment if you're too focused on being right.
Precisely. Douglas pushes the idea of detaching your ego from trades. Instead of obsessing over being right, focus on managing your internal responses so that your actions remain consistent and profitable, regardless of market fluctuations.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, shifting gears a bit, chapter 4 really stirred my thoughts. It deals with the illusion of unlimited profit and loss.
Oh yes. Chapter 4 illustrates that trading isn't exactly like gambling where you know your odds. Instead, there's this unrealistic belief that every trade could be your one big break. It's psychologically dangerous because it leads to, ignoring key reversal signals and inviting greater losses.
It just reminds me how important it is for traders to temper their expectations, not to get carried away by the dream of random windfalls.
Exactly. And then we dive into the perpetual motion of prices in chapter 5. Here, Douglas describes how market prices are always in flux, with no defined beginning or end. This perpetual motion demands that traders continuously reevaluate their positions without fixing their identity on individual
That's a crucial
trades.
ongoing reminder. And it's also interesting how he discusses the lure of greed and the pain of loss, which can lead traders to irrational actions like revenge trading.
Absolutely. It's like Every trader needs to have an exit strategy that isn't clouded by the human desire to get back at the market. In Chapter 6, he further explains that the market is an unstructured environment, like an ever-flowing river, where there are no fixed rules other than the ones you set for yourself.
Yeah, there's that critical part about personal accountability. Rather than relying on external signals or herd behavior, traders must create their own structure and recognize that every decision has direct consequences. Person 2. Indeed.
Then in Chapter 7, an interesting notion comes up. Reasons are irrelevant. Traders tend to come up with post-trade rationalizations that often mask the real reason, the fact that, in the end, it's the collective behavior that drives the market. Your rational analysis often comes into conflict with the raw emotions of fear and greed.
That's pretty eye-opening because it suggests that overthinking the why behind every price move can hinder effective decision-making.
Exactly. And then, as we move further into the book, the later chapters discuss the journey from being an inexperienced trader to a disciplined one. Chapter 8, for instance, lays out the 3 essential stages to becoming a successful trader.
Right, which includes building a market experience that evolves beyond just reacting to emotions. It's about developing mental flexibility and learning to spot opportunities without letting past failures dictate your actions. Person. Yep, exactly.
Yup. It's like training your mind to be agile. There's a strong emphasis on self-acceptance too, recognizing your current skills and forgiving past mistakes so you can adapt better to ever-changing market dynamics.
And it's interesting how that links to later chapters where he talks about the mental environment, how memories, associations, and beliefs shape our perception. If you carry too much negative emotion from past losses, it hampers your ability to see new opportunities clearly.
Exactly. And in Chapter 9, Douglas explains that our mental environment is more structured than it might seem, comprising both positively charged emotions like confidence and negatively charged ones like fear or stress. The balance between these
I really like that breakdown.
can really define your trading performance.
Right. And then you have Chapter 10, where he delves into how memories and beliefs actually filter the information we get from the market. It's almost like our brain sets up a lens, which can either enhance or distort reality.
Absolutely. The whole idea that our past experiences can create mental shortcuts or biases that alter our perception is critical. If you're not aware, you might miss signals or misread market conditions.
And that ties neatly into the need for adaptation discussed in Chapter 11, doesn't it? We constantly need to learn, adjust, and reframe our knowledge based on fresh market data.
Precisely. Douglas emphasizes that our success is linked to our ability to adapt, to create a feedback loop where we learn from each experience and refine our approach accordingly. It's this cycle of continuous improvement that sets disciplined traders apart.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I do wonder, in such a dynamic environment, is it ever possible to completely overcome these psychological barriers, or is it more like an ongoing battle?
That's a great question. It's more of a continuous journey. Even the most seasoned traders face moments of doubt and fear. The idea isn't to eliminate these emotions entirely, but to manage them effectively, sort of like maintaining a balanced internal ecosystem, which allows you to take informed actions without getting overwhelmed.
And that's where building personalized mental structures and trading rules become paramount. It's almost like having a mental safety net. Person. Exactly.
Right. And as we recap, this book also touches on the importance of understanding group behavior in trading. In Chapter 7, Douglas points out that a lot of traders fall prey to herd mentality, rationalizing their decisions based on what everyone else is doing rather than objective analysis.
Yeah, that herd behavior can lead to mass irrationality and exacerbate price movements in ways that single individuals wouldn't predict.
Exactly. And overall, the takeaway is that mastering trading is as much about internal transformation as it is about external strategy. a blend of emotional control, self-reflection, and constant adaptation to an ever-changing market.
Absolutely. It's fascinating how Douglas weaves together these ideas. They remind us that the battle isn't fought solely on charts and technical setups, but also within our own mindset.
Yes, and for traders out there, it's a call to continually work on themselves, not just learning the market mechanics, but developing the discipline to handle its psychological ups and downs.
Indeed, such insights are invaluable. It leaves us with a lot to ponder, especially when facing our next challenging trade.
Well said. And that wraps up our deep dive into the major themes of the disciplined trader. Remember, it's not just about being technical. It's about being mentally prepared for the roller coaster that is the market.
Agreed. Till next time, keep your mindset disciplined and your trade steady.